Hi there guys, Riyadh and Yahi here from tabletopminis.com and welcome to our weekly roundup video. So in these videos we're planning to do it at the end of the week, and we'll basically cover news and rumours from the week, and then at the end we'll cover what we've painted over the previous week and what we're going to be painting. So it could be anything from Warhammer 40,000, Age of Sigmar, Horus Heresy. We really cover pretty much everything Games Workshop in the news and rumours that we can. So we'll start off with Age of Sigmar, and what do we have out this week? So first we'll talk about the Balance of Power. So this is a new book that it follows on from the original two. So we had the first book that covered the Stormcasts kind of invading the mortal realms to retake the realm gates with Korghos Kull and so on. And then they discover an artifact in the realm of metal, and Sigmar finds out or realizes that that's Galmaraz, the lost hammer. So the next book we have The Quest for Galmaraz, which is all about getting the hammer back, and also follows up the story with in the realm of life with Nurgle attacking or looking for Alarielle. And in this book, The Balance of Power, it kind of takes the story even further. So we've got Athelward has been destroyed and Alarielle and the Sylvaneth flee, and as chaos begins to exert its festering grip, realm gates are corrupted, and even the Stormcast Eternals may not be enough to stop the putrefaction. So a little bit of fight back from the chaos there. It's not going to be an easy
Nurgle
retaking.
Back.
Yep, Nurgle doing some
Nurgle stuff.
Yep. Also in the realm of fire, the Skaven make their move against the Fire Slayers. So
should be interesting.
Yeah, that should be quite cool. It's quite funny. The Fire Slayers though are kind of like a mercenary band, though, aren't they?
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't think they don't really fight for any side. They're kind of
whoever pays them that what's called Urgold.
Is it Urgold or Urgold?
Urgold, I think.
So yeah, the Skaven fighting them in the realm of fire, and also in the realm of metal, Vandus Hammerhand leads a storm host in an attempt to stop the Lord of Change, Kiathanas, gaining indescribable power. And if these threats weren't enough, the exalted Grand Marshal of the Apocalypse himself makes his presence felt. So that's Archaon.
Getting a new model.
Yep. So he's back in there. So this book too just really it advances the story of the Stormcast's attempts to restore order to the mortal realms. And in it we get 4 new Time of War sections, which is like the realm rules. We also get 10 new battle plans, one of which is a special 4-player battle plan. I'm not sure whether that's the Convergence of Fate, you know, the one that they were giving away in mail orders.
Yeah, I remember that. That was really fun. That
was a really fun game. I hope it's a new one. If it's another 4-player scenario, that'd be a lot of fun.
Why would they release the same one again? Yeah,
but it was only if you got it with the mail order, so
maybe.
I could see them putting it into the book, to be honest, but I guess we'll see. I'm sure there's going to be some looks at the books on YouTube, today, and so people will find out. And there's also 41 War Scrolls, 9 War Scroll battalions covering the Stormcast, Nurgle, Rotbringers, Sylvaneth, Fire Slayers, Death Lords, Skaven, and Slaves to Darkness. So quite a lot of War Scrolls in there and battalions, and it's 304-page hardback. So another big, huge book like these two. I'm not sure how I feel about having so many, having these books so big with War Scrolls and.
I know they kind of like spread out all over the place. So for some War Scrolls, you need to like jump between books to get them. So
yeah, I mean,
it'd be quite nice to have them in just one book. You know?
I mean, you've got the battle tomes for for order and for chaos and so on, that you have all of your War Scrolls in. But like for us, for example, we don't have the Stormcast or the Order battle tome, but we do have all the War Scrolls for our models spread across these books. But
that battle tome wasn't out when they released these books.
That's true.
So you basically had to buy these books if you wanted the rules, really.
Yeah.
No, actually, no. You get them free on the online, actually, don't you? No, with the Stormcast, you don't.
Some of them you didn't.
I think so. Yeah, I think some of them you did. Some of them you didn't.
Yeah. So it's a bit annoying having to go through different books to get the War Scrolls. But at the same time, it feels like it's not really worth buying the battle tome because we've already got the War Scrolls. So, and a lot of the pages in here are like full page for one War Scroll, a full page with like a big picture, huge picture, and I mean personally, I think a condensed version would be maybe a little better, and I wish there wasn't so much duplication. Because, you know, if I buy a book like this, I want the story, and I want the new scenario, the new battle plans, I want the new stuff, but I don't really want, you know, War Scrolls that I either already have, or, you know, I think that what they should have done is really release the Battle Tome first, and then you know, I guess that kind of gives it gives you a look at the models coming out, doesn't it? So maybe marketing wise, that's not the best thing to do.
Yeah, like in the second book there, Quest for Galmarads, you don't get the Blood Reaver War Scroll, but in the first book you do. So, you know, it's just a bit of a pain going through old books to find what you want.
Yeah, and to be honest, I'm not a massive fan of the artwork in these books either.
Yeah.
They're a bit quite computer generated.
Yeah.
So it's not really like somebody with a brush and pen, like the old style artwork. And you know, because so much of it is that artwork, I'm not sure how you guys feel about it, but I'm not that huge a fan of this type of artwork. I prefer like authentic, like old school artwork. But yeah, so that's coming out, the Balance of Power. Also, we have from Forge World, we have a bomb, basically, and he is a bomb, and he's a huge bomb. It's Skaarac the Bloodborne, and this guy is a Korgorath. He's like the
king of the Korgoraths.
King of the Korgoraths. Yeah, you see him next. We should put a picture up.
Father of Korgorath.
You see him
like that.
Next to a Korgorath. He's about what, 5 times as big?
Something like that. Yeah.
It's like David and Goliath almost. A normal Korgorath next to him.
Yeah.
He's £140, which is a lot of money, but it is Forge World, so you're going to be paying them sort of prices for a model that size.
For £10 more, you could get the Angras Bloodthirster model from Forge World. So I don't know.
And this guy, his War Scroll is available on the Forge World website, and he is a monster. He's got 16 wounds. He moves 12 inches, so potentially you can get him in on a first turn charge, and he's also got some special rules that he can run and charge. So
yeah, his command ability.
Yeah. So this guy, you know, getting him in on turn 1 is very possible. 16 wounds. He's got a missile weapon that's 8-inch range with 1 attack with a d6 damage, 3+3+ no rend. In combat though, he's got brutal blades, so he's got, when he's unwounded, that's 2d6 attacks, so potentially 12 attacks there. 3+3+ -2 rend and 2 damage. So he can potentially put out 24 wounds just from the brutal blades. He's got thunderous hooves, so 6 attacks, 4+3+ -1 rend. Not too bad there. So I mean, that's potentially, you know, add another 6 to that, you're doing like 30 wounds just from that. Plus the
I'm pretty surprised you get actually a -1 rend blood from his secondary attack. Like,
yeah, but I mean, look at the size of him. He's huge. So you know, this guy, he does a lot of damage, and also his special abilities are pretty strong. He's got one here that Undying hates, so he's like a bomb basically. When he dies, any model within a d6 inches suffers 1 wound. So if you rolled a 6, that's every model within 6 inches of his base, which is huge.
Any model
takes
that's
a mortal wound.
On 1 wound. That's on 1 wound.
Yeah, so you're talking about like normal unit.
Imagine I've got like 40 clan rats surrounding them.
Yeah, up to 40 clan rats.
Everything dead.
Yeah, just liquefied.
That's crazy.
So the guy is a bomb. He's a life eater as well. So when he kills a model, he heals d3 wounds at the end of the combat phase.
It's similar to the normal Korgorath special rule, where he just heals 1 wound if he manages to kill a model.
Yep, and he's Infernal Iron. So both sides must reroll successful casting rolls for wizards within 12 inches of him before any unbinding is made. And also Towering Horror, so if he inflicts some damage on enemy units, then you subtract 2 from the bravery of all enemy units within 12 inches in the battle shock. So he's quite a scary model to have on the battlefield. Good. And he has a command ability. Now this command ability is really good. Call of the Skull Throne. So if he uses this ability, all units of Khorne monsters within 12 inches can run and charge in the same turn. So
that's a big deal.
If you've got him with a pack of Korgoraths, you move, then you run,
or
and then you charge.
Really,
well, yeah, any monsters.
Yeah.
But you know, if you've got, let's say, Archaon, who has a command ability that allows all of your guys to use their command. Oh, your heroes to use the command abilities.
Model does he count as a monster because he's on that monster thing?
I'm not sure. You would have to look at his keywords, but
that would be pretty cool.
Archaon the Everchosen though.
Is it no the new model for him, because isn't his command ability what's it? Basically, it lets you use everyone else's command ability, so you can. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. And like
use that.
The old Archaon the Everchosen.
Yeah.
He's got a command ability called Warlord with no equal.
Yeah, that's it.
And that allows every other hero to use their command abilities. So if you had him alongside, that's him running, charging, potentially turn 1. Devastating your opponent.
That's
so
pretty crazy.
This guy's a monster, but with Forge World stuff, they do tend to be quite good. I mean, if you're going to pay that much, you want something with some impact, and I think he fits the bill.
Yep.
So that's pretty much it for Age of Sigmar. There is some last chance to buy things there that are being discontinued. So there's like Skaven battalions and a whole load of other things, Hell Cannon and other items like that. Yeah. They're kind of replacing these battalion box sets with these start collecting sets. Yeah. So it's kind of where you get quite a big discount. It's like 30-40% discount. I'm not sure if they're better value than the battalions.
I think the battalions are better value. Yeah.
Yep. The battalions or the start collecting?
The start collecting ones.
Yeah, the new ones are better value than the old ones.
You get them in 40k now as well.
Yeah, so you get them for 40k and
I think they are definitely a good value.
I'm a big fan of them as well. If you want to start a new army, you get one of them box sets, and you're getting quite a lot of models for the money,
definitely.
Which is really cool.
Definitely.
And that's pretty much it for Age of Sigmar. Now on to 40k and
Curse of the Wulfen.
Curse of the Wulfen. So the 13th company returns. So what's the backstory here? Who are the Wulfen?
From my understanding, is basically you got the Wulfen. They're coming out of the warp in different areas of the universe, of the galaxy, and then you've got the Dark Angels and Grey Knights who see them coming out as corrupted and that, so they want to go and basically destroy the Wulfen. But then you've got the normal Space Wolves who want to basically go and retrieve the Wulfen and help them out, Yeah. So I think there's going to be a conflict between the Wulfen and the Space Wolves against the Dark Angels and Grey Knights.
Okay.
From what I understand.
So the Wulfen, they're a company that originate in the Heresy era, right?
Yeah.
So in like the 30k Horus Heresy type time.
During the burning of Prospero, when the Space Wolves attacked the Thousand Suns homeworld of Prospero. They chased the Wulfen. The 13th company chased the Thousand Suns into the warp, into the Eye of Terror, and they never came out since. So
this is 10,000 years later. They've re-emerged.
Yep.
And now the Space Wolves are trying to make contact with them or reunite with the 13th company. Yep. But you've got the Grey Knights and the Dark Angels that are looking at the Wulfen as what, like corrupted?
Yeah, corrupted, and that they just want to go and destroy them, basically.
So potentially we've got Space Wolves against other Space Marines. That's quite an interesting
Not only that,
part of the story.
Space Wolves and Dark Angels, they've got a grudge that have lasted 10,000 years. Since the two Primarchs fought each other. So it's pretty interesting. Like he's quite exciting.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited for this. And looking at the rules for these models, like, what do you think of the models first? The look of the Wulfen.
I really like the look of them. They look really good.
It's quite unconventional for Space Marines to be Space werewolves. It's quite unusual for Space Marines to be so non-Space Marine-like, right?
Well, yeah, I guess so. I really like it. Like, definitely.
Yep. And they're total monsters in combat, aren't they? The rules for them.
Counterattack. Basically they can charge after the
enemy charges.
Yeah.
So in the opponent's turn, when they charge you, you can also make a charge with the Wulfen guys.
Yeah. To engage to models that are locked in combat.
Okay.
And you can do that with anyone else, not just Wulfen. Anyone else that's in that detachment can do that as well.
Okay, so you can make a really strong assault army with the Wulfen. And also they've got some special rules like the Blood Warriors from Age of Sigmar, right? Where if they die, they can actually make an attack before they die. So, and even if they've attacked in the turn, they can attack again. So
you charge, you attack, they attack you back, and say if they kill one of your guys, you can attack them back again.
Yeah, so you can potentially get 2 rounds of attacking with each model that dies in an assault phase.
But they do have a 4+ save, so it's not.
Okay, 4+ save though. I mean,
would have liked to seen a 3+ save, but I guess, you know, they're more exposed. They don't have all their armor on, so I guess they have to reduce
it. How much AP4 weaponry is out there though? That you know, is there that big a difference?
Heavy bolters AP4.
Okay. So yeah, I mean they're really strong, aren't they? It's going to be interesting to see how that, you know, the Space Wolves, you know, how the Wulfen army works. I mean, I like that Games Workshop are kind of going a little bit more assault orientated with some new releases. Although Space Wolves is an obvious choice.
I'm definitely a big fan of assault armies. You know, hand-to-hand melee combat. You know.
Yeah, I think as you know, many people do, 40k is maybe a bit too strong on the shooting, and not enough focus on the assault. So anything that kind of brings it back in line, the assault phase back in line, I think is a good move for 40k. So
definitely,
that's really cool. Also, we have there were some leaked images on White Dwarf of the new Ulrich the Slayer model.
Oh yeah, man, he's been needing an update for years and years. People have been asking for it. His old model you can tell it's old. Like he's basically, you know, in one of them old poses, you know, where he's got like, you know, he's basically like that.
Quite static. Yeah. But the new model looks really cool. You know, it's the picture doesn't show any helmet on him, but
I guess that could be another option. You know.
Yeah, maybe on the sprue there's
one with the helmet on, and another with it in his hand. The Crozius is the bigger Crozius. It's just a much better looking model.
Yeah, I like his cloak as well, kind of sweeping off to the side. He looks really. I think he's a much better model than the old one.
Definitely.
And I'm a big fan of the older models, but I think he is one of the newer models from Games Workshop that I really do like.
Then you've got the Iron Priest, the new Iron Priest coming out for the Space Wolves.
Yeah, he looks cool. Look at the size of the hammer he's got.
Yeah.
Is that a Thunder Hammer, yeah?
That's a...
Or is that a special one?
I think it's a Thunder Hammer. It might be a special version of it.
Yep, so that's really cool. Loads of new Space Wolves on the horizon. Anything else for 40k? I think
Demons.
Oh
Demons getting a bit of an update. We've got some updated data sheets for them.
Psychic powers.
New psychic powers.
21 psychic powers. I think there's 36 tactical objectives or something come out with them. So some
nice
new stuff there.
Nice little update for them.
Yep. I think that's pretty much it for 40k. So that's it for Age of Sigmar and 40k. Two things that I want to mention, they're not in the last week's rumors, but they've been over the last sort of 2 weeks or so they've come out, is, you know, we got the announcement that Blood Bowl is going to be released in 2017, which is really big, and we've seen the new miniatures for them, so really looking forward to that coming out. You know, we're going to be playing more Blood Bowl on the channel, and you know, it's one of my favorite old-time games, so really looking forward to that. And also there's these Let's Build and Paint It sets. So Games Workshop, it was in a flyer on some games convention.
Them in like toy stores, aren't they?
Yeah, I think it's November 2016. They're coming out with these sets with like an orc truck or a Space Marine bike, and you get a couple of paints with it.
It's definitely going to attract more people, I think. You know, like kids and that who go to toy stores, you know, who wouldn't normally see it.
It's a kind of gift that you'd buy. You could imagine like a father buying his son who doesn't play Warhammer one of these sets. That it's almost like an Airfix model type thing, where you've got the plastics sprue and, you know, a couple of paints and a brush, everything you need to start
primed, it's primed in the color that
I don't think it's primed. It's colored plastic. So like for the Ultramarines bike, for example, is blue. For the Orc truck is green.
Like the Blood Angels and Gene Sealers that come in Space Hulk, they already come like in red plastic for the Terminators, Blood Angel Terminator.
So for beginner painters, you know, and beginners to the hobby, it kind of it looks a bit more interesting than dull grey plastic. So I think that's really cool. A really good move by Games Workshop. I'm quite liking the direction they're going with a lot of their new products.
With Blood Bowl, it's coming out next year, right, in 2017. I saw that it was initially going to come out this year in 2016. So I was wondering what specialist game are they going to release this year then, if not Blood Bowl?
Yeah, well, there was rumors of this Aeronautica Imperialis coming out, which is like a flyer-based game that it came out a few years ago, and
I remember hearing something about that actually.
Yep. So I'm sure that we're going to see some things from specialist games this year. It's just Blood Bowl. It looks likely for a start next year. I would imagine.
I was hoping that it'd be like a Battlefleet Gothic. I'm really into Battlefleet Gothic. I love painting the ships and that. So I hope this Aeronautica game doesn't replace Battlefleet Gothic.
Yeah, it's hard to tell.
Because this Aeronautica thing, it's meant to be like played, you know, in the sky, not in space.
Yeah, well, you know, when Games Workshop initially said that Specialist Games are coming back, that they're putting this Specialist Games team together, they put on their list, they said that you're going to see a lot of the classics that you loved, like Blood Bowl, Battlefleet Gothic.
Okay,
the only thing they didn't mention, I don't think they mentioned Mordheim. They did mention Necromunda. So I would imagine if they mentioned Battlefleet Gothic, then it's likely that will make a reappearance at some point.
You be able to get that sense of scale as well. You know, if you're just playing in the sky, you know, the battle barges and that, they're the size of cities. You know.
Yeah. So yeah, that's really cool. I think Specialist Games, I think they're going to come out with some new stuff as well, though. It's not just going to be old re-releases.
I hope so,
and that I'm quite excited about, like them doing some new IP, some new games that, you know, do they have the talent to be able to give us another Blood Bowl, but not Blood Bowl, you know, something new that's just as popular. And, you know, and they follow that up with the miniature line. So it's not like, you know, Assassinorum Execution Force or Betrayal at Calthbar. It's just like a standalone box set. Well, with Assassinorum Execution Force anyway, it's like a game that you know, you can't buy any extra miniatures for. So I hope that, you know, like Blood Bowl, Mordheim, Necromunda, where you can buy gangs and all this type of thing, I hope that that's what we see from Specialist Games.
I just remembered, actually, you know, for 40k and the Wulfen, the Wulfen that's coming out, I remember seeing a rumor that they might actually be doing an end times for 40k.
Oh, I heard about that as well, but you know, like
according to the fluff, you know, when Lehman Russ leaves the Space Wolves, he says he'll come back in the Wolf time or something like that. Yeah. And now they're saying that it's like the Wolf time. So, man, I know there's a lot of people who don't want to see it, but see that happen. But I actually want to see that.
Like, just see where the story goes.
Yeah, some more progress. Not really for what it could mean rules wise, like them changing it up to more of like an AOS based system.
I don't think they're going to do that.
Yeah, but I just want to see more of the story, like progressing. What happens? Yeah. I'd like to see like some of the Primarchs come back and what they do.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
I'd like to see the Golden Throne failing, the Emperor dying, and he comes back as a Star Child and just basically, you know, does his shit.
What's a Star Child?
It's one of the series that, you know, once the Emperor dies, he'll gather in the warp as one entity and come back resurrected.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
So
man, that would be so cool.
I want to see him come back with all his Primarchs and, you know, the second Great Crusade.
Do you want to see a model for the Emperor?
You know, I don't for the Emperor.
I don't think the Games Workshop will ever do a model for him.
I'd like to, but I wouldn't like to at the same time.
It's like, can you imagine in Age of Sigmar if they did a model for Sigmar? Although everybody could say, yeah, we want to see it, but once you see it embodied in a model, then it kind of loses some of that mystery.
I like the mystery of, you know, like,
All right, so that's it for the news and rumors roundup, and now let's show you the models that we've painted and what we're going to paint over the next week. So this is what I've painted over the last week. I've been working on my veteran squad for the Salamanders. So did 10 of these guys, 2 of them with melta guns, and one of them, the sergeant, has a combi melta. And they're going to ride along in this Rhino here, which I've kind of given it some gold armor plates so I can distinguish it as the veteran troop transport here. So really enjoyed painting them, and you know, I kind of went for the color scheme myself, just a bit more gold than the Horus Heresy artwork, but I think it makes them stand out quite well. And just to get a break from Space Marines, which I've been painting for the last few weeks, I painted up this Ripper Bolgrot. So he's an Orc and Goblin troll special character. So, you know, we're doing a lot of Blood Bowl. So
can he only be used in the orc team?
I think there's a couple of teams he can be used in, but he's for us he's going to be with the Orcs and Goblins. And then over the next week I'm planning on getting this Seeker squad painted up. So this is 5 Marines with combi plasmas. Add them to, and they're going to kind of be objective sitters, kind of sitting back in my line. And also, I'm also going to start on this Blood Bowl team here. So the Orcs and Goblins, because we're wanting to kick off a league soon, we have Chaos Dwarfs, Humans, we've got Chaos Dwarfs, Undead, Necro, and High Elves painted. So wanted to get the Orcs and Goblins done, maybe for the wife. So here's Vara Gultur. He's one of the special characters. He's really cool. And then we have the plastic models from the original set. So we've got some Black Orcs, some Blitzers, some Throwers and Linemen. You also got a metal set of Orcs and Goblins, but I don't have them. These are just the plastic ones. So that's pretty much the plan for me this week.
And for me, I have painted this week the Rampagers here. I did a lot of work on this guy here, but I didn't do as much work on the other guys as I would like to do. They're tabletop, the rest of these guys, but they're not completely finished. I've still got some highlights and shading and stuff to do.
The gore as well, the blood.
Yeah, the gore. As you see on this guy, I did some gore, and he's like fully finished. The rest of them aren't, but they're more than tabletop right now. And I did finish this rhino over here, and I just did some like freehand on the back to, you know, the iconography.
You're still gonna come back and do a little bit more work on the white, aren't you, with the shading?
Well, yeah, I still need to decide what I'm gonna do with the white, like what color I'm gonna use to shade and stuff like that. But yeah, there's definitely tabletop at the moment. And for next week, this week coming, I've got the Morgenthorg to do for Blood Bowl. I'm going to be doing a painting tutorial on faces and skin for him. And then we've got the 10 tactical marines here that I need to finish so that I can use my Rite of War for the World Eaters, because for World Eaters you need 3 troop choices to use their Rite of War. Right now I've only got 2 tactical squads. So
and you need more scoring units, don't you?
And I need more scoring units for sure. So once I get that done, that'll be good.
Okay.
And yeah, so that's all I've got, all what I've done so far, and what I'm going to do next week. So yeah.
So that's it for this week's weekly roundup. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing what we've been painting, what we're going to paint, and a little bit of chat about the news and rumors. So until next time, we'll see you guys later.
See ya.